Good evening, everyone, and welcome to William Green Domain in Pakuranga Heights as we bring you coverage of the Women's National League, the National League Championship clash between Eastern Suburbs and Auckland United. Eastern Suburbs sitting on top of the table after winning their first 5 games and looking pretty good for a spot in the grand final. Let's take a look at the league table. You can see there, as I said, Eastern Suburbs at the top. Western Springs also with a 100% record. They're in action against Northern Rovers tonight as well. And Auckland United sitting back in 6th, although they have beaten Eastern Suburbs in the Northern League earlier this year and may be eyeing up a repeat this evening. So confirmation of the National Women's League Round 6 fixtures. Eastern Suburbs, Auckland United, that's our game here today. And on the other channel, Western Springs against Northern Rovers. And these fixtures flip on Monday. Northern Rovers hosting Western Springs and Auckland United welcoming Eastern Suburbs to Keith A Park. Well, these two teams have met 4 times previously, or 3 times previously. Suburbs winning by 6 goals to 1. The last time they met on the 14th. And Auckland United this evening have 3 players missing. Alosi Bloomfield, Sophie Bradley and Isabella Richards have dropped out. Catherine Fulton, Maya Vince and Jennifer McMurray come in. They all played in the 4-4 draw against Capital Football last week. Only 2 substitutes are listed, Izzy Gerard and Emmeline Bawala, although Bawala came on as a substitute and scored in the 3-2 defeat to Canterbury. Eastern Suburbs are riding high at the top of the league, but they've got 1 or 2 selection issues that will concern them. Devon Jackson and Juliette Lucas, who have both scored between them nearly 30 goals, are missing. So too is Charlotte Wilford Carroll, who started in the last game. Ella Finley, who last appeared in the 5-2 win over Northern Rovers, comes in, as do the 2 Nicoles, Cooper and Metum. They were substitutes in the round 5 victory over Southern United by 1-0. Coach Stephen Hoyle, who played in the Chatham Cup final for the Eastern Suburbs men, has gone with a 3-4-3 formation, and he'll be relying on skipper Rebecca Van Dort and the ever-present Saki Yoshida as they attempt to make it 6 wins on the bounce. The referee quartet this evening is led by Beth Rattray, Jack Henderson and Courtney Day are the assistant referees, and the 4th is Steve Merriman. Courtney Day is the only one of this quartet who has handled a match between these 2 sides as an assistant referee. That was back on the 15th of April in the Northern League, a game that Auckland United won by 3-0. Well, it's a massive, massive weekend for football in general, but specifically for women's football, with the draw for the FIFA Women's World Cup Australia-New Zealand 2023 taking place at the Aotea Centre tomorrow night at 7:30. A star-studded affair that features former Arsenal and England striker Ian Wright, Carly Lloyd, who played 316 times for the United States, won the FIFA Women's World Cup back-to-back in 2015 and 2019, back-to-back gold medals at the Olympics in 2008 and 2012, and 134 goals. They've been joined by Gilberto Silva, the former Brazil international, Alexi Lalas, formerly with the United States, and Cameroon midfielder Jeremy. Silva, of course, won the World Cup in 2002 with Brazil, 93 caps, and of course from New Zealand, our very own Maya Jackman will be present, along with former Matilda Julie Dolan.
We can kick off when everyone's happy.
Well, the last encounter between these sides, as I said, took place on the 14th of August. Eastern Suburbs were far too hot to handle for Auckland United, winning by 6-1. Jade Paris scored 2, Juliette Lucas a hat-trick, a goal to Taylor O'Brien, who is in the starting lineup tonight. She managed to Scored 12 goals in the Northern League. She's listed as having scored 8 in the National League for a total of 20. And that's a player that Jess Philpott and her teammates will be wanting to keep a very close eye on. And we're underway, and a very direct start by the Lily Whites. The Auckland United side is depleted, of course, as I said, with just 2 substitutes on the bench. Eastern Suburbs would be very heavily favoured to go on and make it third victory. That's a very good ball into the box early on, taken by Jessie Barnard. When you look back at Eastern Suburbs' record in the Northern League, they conceded 36 goals across 21 games and managed to score 73. They were the highest scoring team in Northern League.
Yo.
But they have certainly grown in the National Women's League. 22-4 in 5 games, and they've tightened up defensively, just 4 conceded. Here's Yoshida.
Auckland United 7 is in 17.
Decent ball forward. Here's Nicole Cooper. Trying to find some space. A teammate arrives in good order. Erin Wong has been a stalwart of Eastern Suburbs for some time. She's started 4 games in this campaign. Zaria Blackler, now Rachel Head.
That's scaffold, right?
Brooke Bennett. Blackler. Auckland United go to press the ball. There's 3 around the Eastern Suburbs player. Wong goes inside. Now O'Brien. Suburbs looking. Oh, that's a wonderful pass. Erin Wong made a great run just in between the fullback and the centre half. It's an artificial surface, and that meant that the ball just took off. But that's a great idea. And a very intelligent run by Wong. Barnard. And the Eastern Suburbs press working to great satisfaction of Stephen Hoyle, veteran of the men's game, having played in the ISPS and the Premiership and very recently the Chatham Cup finals. As I said, here's Eastern Suburbs trying to work themselves into a shooting position through O'Brien. Metam's ball back, and that has ended up in the back of the net. Most peculiar goal inside the 4th minute. Well, it looked as though it took a deflection. It's good work here from O'Brien, and Metam was teed up, and it looks as though it took a small deflection off Jess Philpott on the way through. So there you have it. Eastern Suburbs take the lead. That's broken kindly for Maya Vince. Well, she spotted a run forward by Bree Johnson. And that's why she opted to try and play that ball in behind the Eastern Suburbs back line, but without success this time. Blackler and Metam combining. Auckland United have responded with some territorial gain. That was well taken by Maya Vince. She's earned a free kick. Well, Auckland United's high point of the year so far has been their victory in the Kate Shepherd Cup. Wins over Hibiscus Coast, West Coast Rangers, both 3-0. Tauranga City was a 4-0 win. They beat Palms North Maris 5-2 before knocking over Northern Rovers in the final at North Harbour Stadium. But they've been inconsistent throughout as this shot goes straight into the arms of Brooke Bennett. Had a lot of power and accuracy. Bennett was wise to the scheme that was hatched. Here's Taylor O'Brien. Well, that's not a bad ball. Bit of pace here in the Suburbs attack as well from Nicole Cooper. Cooper, ball played in early. It's not a bad idea, but Jessie Barnard had come out of the 6-yard box having read that intended cross. Blackler given straight back to United, and they have in turn given it to the Lily Whites. Nicole Cooper earns the throw. Here's O'Brien. Nausea attentions of Jess Philpott and Auckland United trying to clear their lines. There's a good shot. Well, it wasn't accurate. It was the right idea. There's the headed clearance. Wasn't convincing, but the intention was explicit. Here goes Suburbs again. It's with Cooper. She can't hold on to it. Now United trying to fashion a counter-attack. Amy Barnard with the ball forward, trying to pick out Bree Johnson, who's got a lot of work in front of her tonight. Van Dort. Cooper allows it to bounce. It's turned out to be the right decision as Suburbs pour forward. It's 1 against 3, but help is arriving in the shape of Wong. Now Taylor O'Brien trying to work herself into a shooting position. Lovely footwork and patience. Here's Van Dort. Clipped into the box towards the penalty spot. It was just out of reach of Taylor O'Brien. It's all one-way traffic so far for the Lily Whites. Yoshida's header. Vince. Good work from Johnson. She has to be busy tonight and go looking for the ball. Philpott's throw. Lovely first touch. An excellent ball in for Johnson by Vince. Suburbs clear their lines. O'Brien giving her team some support at the back. Cooper's tried to play that into Ella Finley. Wong. Yoshida. Yoshida's played, started all 5 games for Stephen Hoyle's team. Nice play by Saki Yoshida. Good from O'Brien. Now Nicole Metam. Space here on the right-hand side. Maya Vince has spotted the problem, and that is Erin Wong. Thrown to Eastern Suburbs. There's a real energy about this Eastern Suburbs team tonight. Oh, and here's a chance again to double the lead. The second touch was just slightly too heavy from Nicole Cooper, but it was good enough to earn a corner. Here's another look at it. Auckland United put themselves in to all sorts of bother. Played straight into Nicole Metamu, picked out Cooper, but the cover provided by Jess Philpott was excellent. Van Dort has gone forward, just 3 in the box.
I've got it, okay?
It's wound in towards a penalty spot. It wasn't a bad ball. Yoshida for Blackler. Now O'Brien checks onto her right foot, has a shot, and the handling was okay by Jessie Barnard. If you can get your shots to be on target in this league and have some power and a bit of dip or swerve, then you've got a reasonably good chance of beating the keeper. Jessie Barnard was in the right spot at the right time. Fulton doing good work further forward for United. And that's good goalkeeping by Brooke Bennett. Made a decision, came out to get the ball and grabbed it. Van Dort by Johnson. Findlay. Maria Blackler. Played into the channel nicely for Findlay again. Blackler shut down by Sophie Williams. Eastern Suburbs finding difficulty in getting out of this Auckland United press, but perhaps they've done so this time. Van Dort. Tried to play the ball into the channel, hit Jennifer McMurray. Just making her second appearance of the National Women's League season. Oh, this is good from Eastern Suburbs again. I think it's O'Brien, and a very innovative piece of defending to flick the ball away by that United player. Van Dort with the throw towards Saki Yoshida. Tucked back into the box by Nicole Cooper. That's well headed away by Georgia Martin. Erin Wong at the far post. There's a good run inside. It was O'Brien. Oh, that's a good turn. There's the cutback, and the keeper has not been able to prevent Eastern Suburbs doubling their lead. Nicole Cooper pounced the quickest. Erin Wong took up a very dangerous position. That's a good ball forward. First touch here was superb. The second was even better. The third, not so bad. And the finish was a very, very good one. Jessie Barnard did all she could, but the defenders didn't react quick enough. Eastern Suburbs did. 2-0 they lead. Eastern Suburbs have this game by the throat, and they aren't letting go. Could be a long night ahead for Auckland United. Nice turn by Van Dort. Yoshida. Amy Atkins being closely watched by the United defence. Head for Blackler. It was a heavy touch by Metten, but she's recovered well. Spots a run forward by Ella Findlay. Now Aria Blackler again. She's got a very good first-time delivery, Aria Blackler, particularly into the channel, and that's a nice turn by Taylor O'Brien, and this has set Ella Findlay up. She cuts back in, looking to perhaps finish with a left foot, but the United defending through Emma Leeming was adequate enough to quell the danger for the moment.
Injury on halfway, guys. Sheldon, injury on halfway.
Eastern Suburbs capable of cutting teams to ribbons on the counter-attack. Here's another look at this. Strong play by Taylor O'Brien and a very, very well thought out pass. Ella Findlay cut inside. Good cover by Leeming. Well, I mentioned the draw for the FIFA Women's World Cup, which takes place at the Aotea Centre tomorrow night. There's also some friendly matches coming up for the Football Ferns. They play in Christchurch in November. As we have another look at this second goal, Erin Awong with a header. Lovely touch from O'Brien. Great recovery, good technique. There's the cutback, and the goalkeeper so unlucky as the defenders converge on the ball. But it looks as though Cooper may have also taken a knock in the process.
Is there a sub there? Is there a sub there?
Those Football Ferns internationals take place at Orange Theory Stadium in Christchurch, Saturday 12th of November, Tuesday the 15th of November against Korea Republic. Those tickets are on sale as we see Bree Johnson go on a run of her own, but she's unable to find either a shot or a cross. She had it all to do, to be fair to her, one against 3 or 4 defenders. It was a bit sloppy from Aria Blackler. Bree Johnson has got a bit of pace, but that's good covering from Rachel Head.
So 10 on, 19 off. 10 on, 19 off.
So just confirmation that Eastern Suburbs have made a change. Cooper has left the field and been replaced by Jade Paris.
Oh, is that coming? That's about to happen. That's about to happen. 10 on, 19 off.
13 goals this season for Eastern Suburbs in the Northern League by Jade Paris. Managed to pick up a hat-trick in an 11-1 win over Tauranga City back on the 1st of May. It's a pretty handy resource for Stephen Hall to draw on under the circumstances. Not so much good news for Mauro Donoso and his team. Ball played in, whipped away by Blackler. Maya Vince. Hoisted forward by Georgia Martin. Well, a promising move comes to an end for United. Oh, lovely touch from Taylor O'Brien to release the midfielder, Ella Findlay. Oh, this move continues to show promise. Suburbs arriving in numbers. There's the shot straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. That was great to watch. Well played, Eastern Suburbs. Wonderful touch from Taylor O'Brien and Ella Findlay showing tremendous reserves of fitness to make that lung-bursting run to join in the attack. Here's Sophie Williams for United. Ball played in early. It's away by Blackler. Thrown for the away side. And confirmation that this substitution is about to be processed by referee Beth Rattray.
Sub's happening now. 10 for 19? 10. 10 for 19. 10 for 19. No, they got it. They got it.
Jade Paris came off the bench in the win over Southern United back on the 16th of October. Was also a substitute in the win over Northern Rovers and came on against Central Football. But missed out on the opening game of the season, a game that Eastern Suburbs won 4-1 with Taylor O'Brien scoring all 4 goals. Here's Leeming. This is better from Auckland United. Leeming again. Now the Eastern Suburbs press converges and it's led by Ella Findlay, who tries to thread a ball through for Taylor O'Brien. She hasn't given up on it, you know. First touch good, she beats one player. There's the next, and what a goal that is. Utterly ruthless finishing from Taylor O'Brien. Well, this is all down to the good work of Ella Findlay, but Auckland United switched off completely. Taylor O'Brien didn't. Cuts back onto the right foot and then bang. Goal, 3-0. Goal number 9 of the National League season for Taylor O'Brien to go with the 12 she got in the Northern League. Auckland United sinking beneath a lily-white wave of goals and sharp counter-attacking and deadly finishing here at William Green Domain. First touch of the ball for Jade Paris. Ball hit forward by Blackler, headed clear by Georgia Martin. Here's Bree Johnson. Good work from her. That's not a bad ball. Everything that Eastern Suburbs do is impressive to watch so far. They've shown an appetite for every facet of the game, whether it's defending or chasing 50-50 balls. They will run them down regardless, and it's just the type of form that you feel may serve them well as they head towards halfway point in the league stage of the National Women's League. There is the grand final to think about later on, but they're looking pretty good tonight. Wong takes the throw quickly. O'Brien wins the corner. They don't mess about. They're trying to keep the pace of this game constant so that Auckland United don't get a chance to draw breath. Suburbs have taken that short. I think there's another shot, and that goes high over the top. Not as accurate as some of the shots that have rained in on Jessie Barnard tonight.
No,
She'll be relieved about that.
camera 2 can't get the corner. That's why I'm taking it. Camera 1 has to take the corner. You understand? Yeah, exactly.
Here's Metum. Got a little bit too cute there with her intentions. Jade Paris was one of the targets.
Hey,
But Auckland United had managed to get their numbers
camera one
just
here.
right to
Tom's
quell
looking-
that
he's not
attack.
looking around, it's getting dark. I'm going to have to put some ice up and I'm wide open.
Well, the other game taking place at precisely this moment is the one between Western Springs and Northern Rovers, currently 0-0, which is great news for Eastern Suburbs and Stephen Hoyle. If things stay that way, they'll open up a 2-point lead over Western Springs, heading into Monday's round 7, reverse fixtures. Metum got a bit lucky there, and then unlucky as Sophie Williams intervened. Plays the ball forward for Johnson. It's Blackler who tidies up for Suburbs. Bennett. Blackler. Oof, and Brooke Bennett got away with one there, but she won't complain about that. Here's O'Brien. Well, in the very long distant past, I'm talking decades ago, they did say don't pass the ball across your goal. Now it seems to be exactly what is expected of you, and the closer you do it to your own goal, the better. Not sure I would have enjoyed doing that myself. Here's a player. Here's Ella Findlay. Play by Martin. Aria Blackler improvises the ball forward for Findlay. Press comes in from Sophie Williams. Now Rachel Head. Breaks the line. Finds Yoshida. First time ball for Van Dort. Paris. Intelligently done. In a pocket of space by herself. Yoshida available. O'Brien dropping deep to receive and keeps the momentum of this phase of possession going for the Lily Whites. Wong turns Vince Meyer. Oh, sorry, Meyer Vince before attempting a cross. Good individual battle between Wong and Vince. Metum, good run by Wong, and very good defending by Maya Vince. Here's O'Brien, a lovely turn. The combination between O'Brien and Wong is very impressive. Doesn't always come off, but you can see that there's an intuitive understanding between the two players when it comes to trying to crack open this United defence. O'Brien. Aria Blackler found the loose pass and tried to play it to Findlay. Good turn by Johnson. Had a little bit more time than she thought. Bree Johnson. Bennett.
Yeah, no, two can't get that shot. Two hasn't got a wide enough lens to do that.
Findlay for her skipper Van Dort. That's a good ball forward. Well played by Paris. O'Brien. Metum. Good technique. Blackler. Always reliable, Aria Blackler, in terms of finding a teammate with a pass. Guarantees it almost every time. Here's Rachel Head. Well played by Blackler again for her skipper. Good turn by O'Brien. And has picked up a free kick. Late challenge. Referee Beth Rattray on the spot. Yeah, that's a great turn by O'Brien, and the challenge came in late. No doubt about that decision. As we reach the half-hour mark, Eastern Suburbs lead by 3-0 over Auckland United. Nicole Cooper, who has left the pitch injured, scored 2 goals, or at least had a hand in 2 of them. I suspect the first one was scored with a deflection, and Taylor O'Brien on 23 minutes made it 3-0. The Auckland United wall gets marched back to the edge of the penalty box, and Amy Atkins goes into debate with Ella Finlay about perhaps what to do with this free kick. Will it be a shot? Will it be bent in towards the far post where Wong has just pulled clear? It has gone towards Wong. Played forward by Catherine Fulton. Target was Amy Barnard. It's now with Brooke Bennett. Georgia Martin for Jennifer McMurray. Well, hope you're enjoying the coverage. Eastern Suburbs in full control of this one. 3-0 advantage, and they look very likely to add to it tonight. Oh, well played by Jade Harris. First touch was excellent, and Ella Finlay arrived just at the right time so that the substitute had an option. Philpott found Vince. It was picked off by Blackler. Lovely turn inside by O'Brien. Paris makes a run. Still going. Spots Wong. There's the cross to the near post, and the attack not quite over, but Auckland United doing their level best to try and end it. They can't get caught on the ball like that. Paris. Well, Wong fighting for everything. Foul on Maya Vince. That's what I meant about appetite earlier. Everything Eastern Suburbs are doing is played at such an intense pace. It doesn't matter if it's bombing forward to create an attack. It's just the small things like taking throw-ins quick, free kicks as well. Guaranteeing possession. Good ball from Blackler. Now O'Brien. Metum is forward. Now Van Dort joins the attack on the left-hand side. Van Dort goes past one, can't go past a second. And that's hooked clear by Jess Philpott. Well, the Men's National League Championship round 4 takes place this weekend. On Saturday, Melville play Cashmere, Wellington Olympic against Birkenhead, Christchurch United against the Wellington Phoenix, and then on Sunday, Miramar Rangers take on Auckland United, and Auckland City FC play host to Napier City Rovers. Intriguing race at the top of the table emerging in that competition between Birkenhead United and Auckland City, 2 teams from the Northern League. Here's Yoshida. That was the right idea, but it was well read by Emma Leeming. Away by Martin to Johnson. Now Williams. Good use of the body by Sophie Williams. Can't pick out Johnson though. Bennett for Blackler. Lovely pass. Excellent first time ball for Finley, who spots O'Brien. Work to do for Emma Leeming. And a throw for Suburbs. O'Brien. Oh, nice turn and good defending by Leeming. You can see there O'Brien just looking at the space around it, sees the opportunity, and then a lovely little turn, and Leeming with good defending, but looks as though she may have overstretched and maybe strained something. Obviously stretching now to give herself some relief. Leeming has played in 4 of the 5 games for Auckland United in this competition, as Yoshida tries to use power and aggression to get that shot away, but United have survived for the moment. Here's Wong popping up on the left-hand side for Eastern Suburbs. Here she is again. Good turn by Yoshida. Well, Johnson hurried things up, but it took a deflection off Rachel Head, and she was able to get the ball back. Paris. Provides a very useful target for Eastern Suburbs. Now a long ball forward with Taylor O'Brien called offside. Yeah, by only so much, she suggests to the assistant referee. It's very interesting, that phase of play, because we've seen Eastern Suburbs attacking Auckland United with a combination of quick counter-attacks, but they showed another side to their game there with that Auckland United line just a little bit higher. Taylor O'Brien going in behind to an accurate long ball, and as you could see from her hand gestures, was only just offside. Johnson. Good use of the body by Bree Johnson. It's found Sophie Williams. United still. Oof, and that goes behind. It's really the closest that Auckland United have come to causing Eastern Suburbs any issues in their own box. Fulton was very determined there. The ball across just lacked a bit of quality, but there was a lack of targets to hit inside that 6-yard box as well. Something that Mara Donoso will be aware of as we head towards half-time. Well, still 0-0 between Western Springs and Northern Rovers, and that wasn't a bad ball from Auckland United. Just slightly overhit in terms of the power. It allowed Brooke Bennett to make a quick, snappy decision to come out for that ball. Lovely touch by O'Brien from the kick out. Here's Rebecca Van Dort. Clipped in, and the first ball was dealt with by Jess Philpott. It fell to Jade Paris, and she was unable to keep her shot down. But a warning here for United. They have to be more sure of their clearances, because Eastern Suburbs won't think twice about having a crack from anywhere. Philpott. Well, good pressing from Eastern Suburbs, and they get their reward. Restart through Amy Atkins. Here's Jade Paris. Flicked on by Paris, hoisted clear by United. Van Dort competing for possession with Sophie Williams. And United come up with a throw. Just under 5 minutes to go to the half-time break. Eastern Suburbs in total control. Here's Paris. Findlay. Good pressing from Penny Brill. It's really the first time in the first half that Auckland United have managed to get to grips with the Eastern Suburbs midfield. It's a midfield that has played with a lot of fluidity, and their first time passing has been excellent to watch at times. Oh, and there's a moment's confusion between Wong and Blackler that Williams was looking to take advantage of. But even in a moment like that, where Eastern Suburbs show some fallibility, they still recover quickly, because their mentality is to do everything at pace and do it quickly, and that includes getting forward but also recovering, which is to their testament of their form in this summer of the National Women's League. Blackler's header. Ella Findlay. Erina Wong. Findlay for Rachel Head. Beautiful play from Eastern Suburbs, opening up space on this left-hand side for Rebecca Van Dort. Brooke Bennett. It was the right option under pressure. Picked up by Amy Barnard. United coming forward. Just can't seem to link the dots between the middle of midfield and Bree Johnson, who's doing it the hard way tonight, mostly on her own. Metum, Yoshida, given away to Vince. Williams finds McMurray. Well, the intended target was Bree Johnson. It ended up going between her and Williams. Eastern Suburbs picked up the loose ball. Now it's cycled through O'Brien and Metum, and Yoshida with a good use of the body here to destabilise her opponent and come up with possession for her team. Now O'Brien again. Blackler. We've reached the 45th minute of a very good first half for Eastern Suburbs. It's been nice to watch. And I understand there's an additional 2 minutes minimum to be pegged on to the end of the first half. Here's Taylor O'Brien trying to get the better of Georgia Martin. Spots a run forward by Yoshida, but it's gathered up by Jessie Barnard. Johnson's header was intended for Williams. Penny Brill fighting for possession. It's back with Blackler. Oh, lovely touch from O'Brien. Ella Finley had spotted the opportunity to run beyond the striker, and they were definitely on the same page, but United did well to cut that attack out. Wong recovers well. Vince for Brill. Good work by Blackler, but Brill emerges with the ball. Jade Paris drops in to provide some assistance. Now Fulton for Amy Barnard. There's 3 in the box for Auckland United, but again, they can't quite find the quality in the cross, the final pass, to cause Eastern Suburbs a problem. Lovely cushioned header. I think that was Taylor O'Brien. Nicole Medham has a shot, and great handling by the goalkeeper. Good work from Jade Paris, and Nicole Medham did not hesitate, but it was straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, who handled it capably. Well, 3-0 here, 0-0 between Western Springs and Northern Rovers. There's a shot from O'Brien, hits the side netting, doesn't trouble the keeper.
And then you can say you've scored a goal at the World Cup. And then it's 3-2, and then it's game on, right?
Well, there is the blast of the whistle by referee Beth Rattray here at William Green Domain. Confirmation of the score here. Eastern Suburbs leading Auckland United by 3-0. The goal scored by Nicole Medham, Nicole Cooper and Taylor O'Brien. It's Eastern Suburbs 3, Auckland United 0.
Patterson, wayward pass, Hirano intercepts that on that occasion. Garcia, Hirano now, one-on-one. Here's Hirano. Oh, great footwork. And it's in. It is a goal from Hirano. Well, thought that one may get away from her, but she did choose to find the back of the net on that occasion. Lena Hirano. A bit of pressure playing off for Western Springs. Pressure too from Jackson. Here she is again. The second chance, and it's a goal. Suburbs have struck straight back against Northern Rovers this afternoon. Devon Jackson. One-on-one with Uda really does well. And on target, what a strike. Petra Buick. Fantastic strike. What a run from the substitute. Thoroughly deserved too. She's been quite like a star for Canterbury since she's been on, trying to force things. What a fantastic strike by her. Settle again. Yoshida again opens her body up so well. Allows her to play that one first time. A shot from Yoshida, and it's a goal. Michaela Foster could not get that to that one. It's Saki Yoshida, the third goal for Eastern Suburbs this afternoon. Well worked goal from Yoshida.
Oh, lovely turn. That's beautiful from Painenberg. And she released the pass. She does to Colby. Best football of the match so far. To the edge of the penalty area. And that is the best goal of the match. And that is superb. Tafaru with the finish. But beautifully crafted. And it all started with Emma Painenberg. What a turn in midfield. And releasing Colby. And again, she found a teammate with the cross.
Well, some absolutely fantastic goals scored so far in the National Women's League, and the top goal scorers of 2022, led by Taylor O'Brien. We shouldn't be surprised. Devon Jackson also in them. Bree Johnson of Auckland United there too. Well, there's also been a lot of goal action in the Men's National League Championship. Let's check some of that out.
Auckland City are both lucky, but they still give possession away. So shooting opportunity, deflection, just hits the post, and on the rebound they scored early. This is a stunning opening from Birkenhead, and it's their captain, Sam Burfoot, who scores, and it seems incredible after just 3.5 minutes to say that it's been coming, but it has.
And Raboku managed to find his way past one opponent. Got Wilkinson just to his left, who's lined up the shot. Oh, that's a fine finish. What a goal by Eddie Wilkinson. Set up by Raboku. Christchurch back in business.
And here is Tade with Howison sweeping forward. This is looking likely here for Auckland City. Howison early ball in, and there is the goal, beautifully done. Ryan de Vries opens the scoring. Superb combinations from the attacking trio.
Dylan Hobson with the corner kick. Flipped into the near post, and it's won by Birkenhead, and it's in the back of the net. It's Dino Bodaka. The home side sees the initiative just before the hour mark, to the delight of the Shepherds Park crowd. Gully onto the right foot, beautiful pass. Jack Henry Sinclair's onside.
Nice goal.
That's a brilliant finish by Jack Henry Sinclair. One of the most exciting players in the National League Championship. And Wellington Olympic doubled the lead.
Tade, heavy first touch, maintains possession. Tade, near post, what an equaliser! Emi Tade, you are a magician.
Well, some absolutely outstanding goals to enjoy from across some of the last 3 rounds of the National League Championship men's competition. Gianni Bazoukas is leading the top goal scorer list here. He of Wellington Olympic. Ryan de Vries of Auckland City sitting joint second with Eddie Wilkinson of Christchurch United, and of course Jack Henry Sinclair of Wellington Olympic too. He's been in outstanding form this season. Here are a reminder of how the National Women's League standings look. Eastern Suburbs with a 100% record. They're looking pretty good to make it 6 in a row. Western Springs, though, 0-0 with Northern Rovers at the break. Last I checked, will fall behind by 2 points if they can't come up with something to keep pace with an exciting Lily-Whites team. Auckland United still struggling to find the form that saw them win the Kate Shepherd Cup. Big game coming up tomorrow, Melville United against Cashmere Technical. I'll be calling that game for you tomorrow on Sky Sport Next. Kick off at 1 o'clock. Let's take a look back now at the highlights of a very intriguing first half between Eastern Suburbs and Auckland United. It was all the Lily-Whites who raced into a very early lead, and you could see from the way that Taylor O'Brien set about her work, always looking to cause this Auckland United defence problems. She played a key role here in tandem with Nicole Metum as Cooper lined up a shot, took a small deflection. That was 1-0 after just 3 minutes. O'Brien showing a lot of skill, a lot of technique. Metum with a very fast decision made under pressure, and the finish set Stephen Hoyle's team on its way. Eastern Suburbs certainly didn't let up. They kept the pressure on, constantly peppering shots in on this Auckland United side, but Auckland United didn't help themselves. You could see that ball given away by Georgia Martin and set away Nicole Cooper. Aria Blackler then played Taylor O'Brien into space, took a shot, and it was saved by Jessie Barnard, who had a lot to do in that first 45 minutes. The second goal eventually turned up. It was a cute header by Erin Awong. More great skill from Taylor O'Brien, and what a finish that was by Cooper. Goalkeeper did everything right, but Erin Awong just got ahead on that ball. O'Brien very, very determined. First touch was good. Lovely skill to adjust herself there. Keeper got something on it, but Nicole Cooper showed a lot of power. She did pick up an injury and would be replaced by Jade Paris. Bree Johnson perhaps had the best opportunity for Auckland United. She got into a good position and then fluffed her lines right at the end. That being said, there wasn't another Auckland United player in the box at that particular moment. She's had a very difficult task this evening. This was a beautiful touch by Taylor O'Brien to release Ella Findlay. Ball played into Metum. Findlay kept her run going. Good defending by Jess Philpott. And then the strike from distance straight into the hands of Jessie Barnard. Auckland United tried to get a hold of the ball, but as you can see, this Eastern Suburbs team triggered a press. Taylor O'Brien kept going after Jennifer McMurray. Auckland United switched off. O'Brien cut inside Murray and then thrashed home that very powerful shot that gave Jessie Barnard no hope. And that really succinctly summed up a perfect first 45 minutes. O'Brien typifying what the Eastern Suburbs side is all about, not giving up, working hard, persevering, and then showing total ruthlessness with the finish. The goalkeeper had no chance. 3-0, and deservedly so. Auckland United tried to find a way back into the game. Catherine Fulton played this ball wide to Amy Barnard, but the final delivery was often found wanting. There was another opportunity set up by Van Dort, and Jess Philpott could only manage to put it into the path of Jade Paris, and she shot high and wide. But there were some lovely moments here. This was one of them. Paris combining with Nicole Metum, who tried one from distance, but Jessie Barnard was not to be beaten. And that's how it all played out in the first half. Well, let's take a look back at the action that took place last week.
Auckland City are both lucky, but they still give possession away. So shooting opportunity, deflection, just hits the post. And on the rebound, they scored early. This is a stunning opening from Birkenhead, and it's their captain, Sam Burfoot, who scores. And it seems incredible after just 3.5 minutes to say that it's been coming, but it has.
Joe Poole, and Raboku managed to find his way past one opponent. Got Wilkinson just to his left, who's lined up the shot. Oh, that's a fine finish. What a goal by Eddie Wilkinson. Set up by Raboku. Christchurch back in business.
Here is Tade with Howison sweeping forward. This is looking likely here for Auckland City. Howison early ball in, and there is the goal, beautifully done. Ryan de Vries opens the scoring. Superb combinations from the attacking trio.
Dylan Hobson with the corner kick. Flipped into the near post, and it's won by Birkenhead, and it's in the back of the net. It's Dino Bodaka. The home side sees the initiative just before the hour mark, to the delight of the Shepherds Park crowd. Gullen onto the right foot, beautiful pass. Jack Henry Sinclair's onside.
Nice goal.
That's a brilliant finish by Jack Henry Sinclair. One of the most exciting players in the National League Championship. And Wellington Olympic doubled the lead.
Tade, heavy first touch. maintains possession. Tade Neves, what an equaliser! Emi Tade, you are a magician.
Well, some fantastic goals scored in the Men's National League Championship last week. That Auckland City FC Birkenhead United game was a thrill a second. It was absolutely compelling, and I'm sure we're going to see more from both those teams as that competition heads towards its grand final. Some news here from William Green Domain and Pakuranga Heights. The sad news is that Emma Leeming will be unable to continue. She's been withdrawn by Mara Donoso, and Issy Girand comes in to replace Leeming for her 5th appearance of the season. All of her appearances this season have come off the bench. Eastern Suburbs also look as though they are about to make a change. I see Olivia Page there, number 13, on standby. Two substitutes. There is Steve Merriman, who confirms the Auckland United substitution. And it looks as though Saki Yoshida has come off for Eastern Suburbs. So what is the key for both teams for the second half? For Auckland United, it's to keep trying to chip away and find a goal, perhaps force a mistake from Eastern Suburbs and see where that takes them. And I think for Eastern Suburbs, the challenge here will be to keep going and maintain that momentum and velocity with everything that they've done so far, and keep the blowtorch on sensitive parts, so to speak. The last thing Stephen Hoyle will want is for his team to go into cruise mode. That's usually when teams start making mistakes. But there is a trick to handling a lead of this nature when your performance has been superior in every way so far to the opposition. In some ways, you can be your own worst enemy. Let's keep an eye on that. Here's Johnson. This is good work from United in the early knockings of the second half. Here's Johnson. Oh, and it just went behind Amy Barnard. She got herself into a fantastic position. Eastern Suburbs showing a lack of concentration at a key moment, but they've survived it. Metum breaks clear. Well, asking far too much of Jade Paris. The ball was, of course, heading towards that space just in behind Auckland United's right back as Paris was making a run towards the centre half area. Not really a player that's going to run beyond defenders in the way that that ball was played. That's what Jade Paris does well, getting possession and passing it on. Here's Amy Atkins. Paris. Here's Page. Well, Olivia Page has only had one other appearance in the National Women's League this season. That was in the opening day 4-1 win over Capital Football back on the 17th of September. Good strength shown by Metum. Atkins. Right idea, but it's Johnson and Brill who have combined to release Williams down the left. Just overhit. Good energy in the opening couple of minutes from Auckland United. O'Brien, who got a lot of space in the first half, got nothing there from Georgia Martin. Great defending. She's given away a free kick, but that's not a bad marker to lay down by the centre-back from Auckland United. O'Brien's definitely going to think twice before she just simply receives the ball and turns. Now she's got to think that Auckland United's defence is going to be a much, much tighter and more miserly proposition in the second half. Wong pressed and has given up possession to Martin. And a player down. Not good news for Auckland United. Looks as though she rolled her ankle. Oh, is it cramp or something worse? We'll find out shortly. Here's a ball popped forward by Aria Blackler. Oh, yep. Cramp, maybe a strain, who knows? Erin Wong offering some assistance there. Well, Erin Wong also part of the Women's Futsal Super League over the last few seasons, playing as a flanker. And also played at the 2016 Futsal World University Champs. Well, Emmeline Bawala has come on for Maya Vince. So Emma Leeming and Maya Vince, that's a big, big problem for Auckland United. Two of their better performances in the first half. Emmeline Bawala played in the 4-4 draw against Capital Football on the 15th of October and scored a goal. This is just her second game this season as Eastern Suburbs swing this corner over. Well, committed defending, it was enough to put the Eastern Suburbs players off because the quality of the ball was reasonably good. Here's Finlay. Sponsor Rebecca Van Dort. Good defending from Catherine Fulton. Oh, and it's Georgia Martin who provides the insurance policy for Jessie Barnard. This was good work from Eastern Suburbs. Van Dort found acres of space down the left here. The defending was useful. First time ball almost spotted Jade, well, it did spot Jade Paris and she didn't quite catch it right, but it was enough to put the goalkeeper off, and Georgia Martin was in the right place at the right time for United. Here's Atkins. That's a decent pass as well, and that has hit the top of the crossbar and gone in. It's Erin Wong. Lovely football. It was a beautiful cross by Amy Atkins. I can't wait to see that again. First touch was good, set herself up, thrashed it across. That's brilliant. Look at the way it dissected the Auckland United defence, and the finish from Wong was exemplary. Eastern Suburbs in cruise mode now, 4-0. 54 minutes gone. Amy Atkins picked her out a treat. That was the type of pass that any midfielder enjoys, but in this instance, it was the Eastern Suburbs right fullback who spotted the opportunity to get in on the goal-scoring act. You can imagine from this point going forward that Auckland United are in big trouble here, because they've now got both their substitutes on the field of play, and they can ill afford to lose anybody else to injury or otherwise. Van Dort for Rachel Head. Essie Girard doing well, working on her own. Cut out by Fulton, picked up by Paris. Oh, what a pass that is by Jade Paris. Taylor O'Brien, good tackle by Martin, but the danger's not over. Metum helps out O'Brien. Shot blocked. Good work by Essie Girard. Wow, that was a good piece of play by Jade Paris. Look at that. Geometric genius would be required to work that one out before executing it, but Nicole Metum played her part too in O'Brien's shot. So here's the corner. Atkins to take it towards the 6-yard box, and cushioned header off the hair bun there, I think, killed the power in it. Paris. Van Dort. Martin does well. Georgia Martin under pressure from Taylor O'Brien. Great work by Van Dort, who held off Amy Barnard. Brooke Bennett. Maria Blackler. Uncharacteristically poor touch by Ella Findlay. But there you go again. Whenever a player in a white shirt makes a mistake, they very quickly get themselves working towards winning the ball back or making up for an error. It's led to an almost flawless performance overall. You can hardly fault much that Eastern Suburbs have done this evening. Here's Atkins. Given away. Fulton. Philpott. Fulton needs help. Sees it on the left-hand side as United face the pitch. Here's Williams. Well, rather tired looking pass from Jess Philpott, the skipper. Tried to pick out Jennifer McMurray, but United showing signs of fatigue. Good use of the body by O'Brien to release Atkins. Again, there's that cutback that she so likes. Metum. United are just hanging in there. Look at this combination play between Taylor O'Brien and Atkins here. Another lovely cutback, and Metum fancied the shot. Can't blame her. She just couldn't keep it under the crossbar. Martin. Girard, heavy touch that falls to Metum. Martin battling for everything. That's well played by United. Amy Barnard picking up the pass from Emmeline Bawala. Needs to get the ball into the penalty box. There were 3 waiting in Auckland United colours. Good work from Amy Atkins, having a good game for the Lily Whites. Well, we've hit the hour mark. Eastern Suburbs have added a goal to their haul. They lead Auckland United by 4-0. And another substitution. Nicole Mettams had a great evening for her team, replaced by Zoe Benson. Benson played in the 4-1 win over Capital Football. Hasn't appeared in the subsequent 4 games since then, but perhaps an opportunity for Coach Stephen Hoyle to give players some minutes and experiment somewhat. They will be very happy with 6 wins from 6, and there's a few things they could possibly learn about some of the players in the squad. As Rachel Head intercepts that pass. Here's Wong. Bree Johnson, lovely skill to go by Ella Findlay. Now a chance for United from the edge of the box. That's a good strike, very good strike indeed. And the goalkeeper was equal to the task. Brooke Bennett got her body right in line with it and made sure that when it struck her torso, there was no chance of there being any mishaps. Well, another change. Rebecca Van Dort, the skipper, is replaced by Kenya Brooke. Here's Atkins. Good skill. First touch of the ball for Kenya Brooke. Olivia Page dispossessed. Amy Barnard tried to get a hold of it. Now back with Kenya Brooke. Played through by Zoe Benson. Now Jade Paris. There's a cutback. And it's fallen to another substitute, Benson. Well, this is the effect of fresh legs. Multiple substitutions against a team that's already deployed their only 2 substitutes, and you really do fear for Auckland United as we close in on the final third of this game. They had a couple of heavy defeats in the Northern League section, Auckland United. They lost 6-1 to Eastern Suburbs back on the 14th of August. Prue Catton scored a consolation goal. They were also beaten on the 25th of August by Ellerslie by 6-1. And so far in the National Women's League, 3-0 loss to Western Springs on the 1st of October, 3-2 loss to Canterbury on the 9th. So it's been a very difficult summer for Auckland United. They're hardly the team that they were during the winter phase of the campaign. Martine Pukitapu is not here. Tessa Leong isn't. Prue Catton, Ruby Nathan, Velocity Bloomfield as well. Blackler. Away by Fulton, who's come into her own in the second half. Well, just an update from the other match. Western Springs 1, Northern Rovers 1. So a goal apiece in that one. Doesn't change too much in terms of Eastern Suburbs' current advantage here. They will still open up a 2-point gap on Western Springs going into Monday's fixtures, if things stay the same, of course. Here's Findlay. Oh, Rachel Head, and now a chance for United. The first touch from Emmeline Boala was heavy. It allowed Aria Blackler to get across and provide cover for Eastern Suburbs. Here's Zoe Benson. Good work by Phil Pott. Oh, the keeper, Jessie Barnard, perhaps entitled to get away with one of those. We saw Brooke Bennett of Eastern Suburbs also play a ball forward that looked a bit ropey. Sometimes it's difficult to tell these days, as I said in the first half. The tactical and thematic style of the game says that there's a lot more risk-taking, often a metre or so from your own goal. Benson, neatly done. O'Brien, good turn. Pocket of space opens up for her. Good switch. Atkins might fancy going on her own. Atkins uses her body to hold off the defender, and the shot has gone over the top. It's a goal kick, but that's excellent play from Amy Atkins. Look at this pass here from O'Brien. Saw Atkins in space early, got the ball to her. Atkins felt maybe she didn't have the pace to go by Jennifer McMurray, but she used her body intelligently. Lots of strength there, and then went for power with a shot, but just couldn't keep it down.
I'll raise mine up heaps.
Findlay, Blackler, Benson, Page, spots Amy Atkins free on this left-hand side. Taylor O'Brien's made a run to the penalty spot. Can she pick her out? Oh, very nearly. There's a shot from Paris, just wide of the target. Wow, great play from Eastern Suburbs once more. Wonderful pass. Amy Atkins had loads of space here to make up her mind what to do with it. We know she's got a great left foot. Great run by Taylor O'Brien. Jade Paris picks up the bits and pieces at the back post, but can't keep the shot on target. Amy Atkins' delivery from wide areas with that left foot is a joy to behold. She's got tons of quality when it comes to picking out teammates, as we've seen. Between Atkins on the left and Erin Wong on the right, the balance to this Eastern Suburbs side is remarkable. As United go long with this ball to the edge of the box, it's missed. And Suburbs have some defending to think about. That's a good first-time pass. Cut back, rather, and Brooke Bennett collects. Page.
He's wide open, so he's got to put game in.
Johnson. Boala's made a run into the box, and Barnard has weighed one to the far post. If Auckland United can find some quality with the final ball, but Finlay just won't let United settle. They haven't had the same amount of time and space in that top third to find quality in that final pass. It's to Eastern Suburbs' credit that they've squeezed the game in those areas as much as possible. Their work rate without the ball has been very, very good this evening. Well, still 1-1 in the match between Western Springs and Northern Rovers. A scoreline that suits Eastern Suburbs to a T. O'Brien. Marshalled by Penny Brill, now Blackler. Wong, tight ball to give O'Brien, but she got there just in the nick of time. Rolls away from Brill. Had Page to her right, picks out Rachel Head instead. Blackler. Good work from Zoe Benson to find a pocket of space to receive the pass. Wong joins in the attack. O'Brien's forward. Just played in behind Zoe Benson. Picked up by Sophie Williams. Now Johnson. Poor first touch by her usual standards. Nice touch by O'Brien for Benson. Page makes a run forward. Georgia Martin goes out to deal with Page. Makes a decent tackle, but it will be a corner for Eastern Suburbs. Good defending. Not sure Olivia Page enjoyed the dark arts of defending exhibited by Georgia Martin. Atkins will take the corner kick. Bending in towards the goalkeeper. Keeps it low and flat to the near post, and Olivia Page arrived at just the right time but didn't make a clean connection. Now Kenya Brook. Benson. Blackler. Oh, well, very rarely do we see those passes from Aria Blackler go astray, but there can't have been too much in that. Kenya Brooks' header finds Jade Paris, who competes for the ball aggressively and fairly. But Auckland United come away with it. Brill. Good defending. Kenya Brook right on top of Amy Barnard. It's good work by Brill. Catherine Fulton picking out Amy Barnard. It's hooked clear by Suburbs. Miscue by Jennifer McMurray, but it's no harm done. Atkins. Jess Philpott got into an awkward situation there with Taylor O'Brien, who takes a throw in quickly. Spotted the run by Zoe Benson. Atkins taking on Brill. Decent pass for Finlay. That might be asking too much of Erin Wong, because Bree Johnson had run all the way back to help out her defence. 74 minutes gone. Eastern Suburbs 4, Auckland United 0. Eastern Suburbs heading towards their third consecutive victory over Auckland United this year. Here's a shot. Oh, good goalkeeping. It was an awkward one. Keepers don't like those shots that look as though they're going to bounce just in front of them, but Jesse Barnard did a good job to make sure that didn't happen. Well, a goal scored in the game between Western Springs and Northern Rovers. Western Springs leading Northern by 2-1. Very, very interesting. The top two teams in the National Women's League both winning. Both will go to 18 points after 6 games. And Rovers will be cut adrift by 8 points, sitting in 3rd place. That is, unless, of course, they come up with a goal or possibly 2 to change their fortunes. Here's Erin Awong. Olivia Page dispossessed, but it's all getting rather messy. Both teams struggling to retain the ball for a meaningful period of time. Here's Johnson, good overlap. Here, Boala goes towards the ball, dealt with by Rachel Head. Fulton. Williams, and it breaks down in the middle third, as it has so often for United tonight. Paris. Oh, you can see the idea she had in mind. It was to try and pop that ball over with her right foot and release Amy Atkins into space, but she almost caught it too well. She was looking for something with a little bit more nuance. Expect things will get rather frantic for Northern Rovers as the clock ticks down. An 8-point gap between 3rd and 2nd would feel psychologically almost insurmountable for the rest of the league, in fact. It's been such a 2-horse race. That was a good touch by Zoe Benson to find Olivia Page. Here's Atkins, running behind by O'Brien. Jess Philpott for company, but O'Brien has stretched away. Oh, that was not a bad idea by O'Brien. A little back heel that spotted the run of the midfielder, Olivia Page. Oh, and O'Brien's through. There's Jade Paris is free at the far post, just out of your picture. Good defending from Kenya Brook. Ella Findlay. Bennett for Brooke. Now Rachel Head has some thinking to do here. Plays it into Wong, one of the goal scorers. Good ball movement by Eastern Suburbs at a decent clip. Must feel like a lot of hard work for Auckland United tonight, with the way that the pace, the unrelenting pace and momentum that Eastern Suburbs have played at this evening. Bree Johnson has space to run into. Blackler on her back. Here's Boala. First touch heavy, but Boala's come away with it. No, not quite. Eastern Suburbs again. There are numbers. Martin. Jesse Barnard. The skipper, Jess Philpott. play by Eastern Suburbs again. Oh, nice play from Atkins. Very neatly executed pass just around the corner, but Penny Brill has done well for United. But once more, Eastern Suburbs win the ball back just as quickly as they lose it, and that places more and more pressure on Auckland United as we head into the final 10 minutes. That's good work by McMurray. Findlay. Brooke. That's a good pass. Zoe Benson against Catherine Fulton. Help arriving. It was, oh, that was not a bad ball now. Taylor O'Brien over the top. Disappointing from a player that's so technically gifted, but perhaps we're being picky here. But it was a great pass by Kenya Brooke to release Zoe Benson down the left-hand side. Benson had a look, very thoughtful with the cross. Georgia Martin got something on it, and Taylor O'Brien went for power over accuracy. Has taken a deflection, so perhaps not so much criticism coming Taylor O'Brien's way. Atkins will take it. Perhaps a variation, indeed it is. Here's Benson. Atkins looking to check onto her favoured left foot. Benson. Plays in Atkins, who's delivered a decent ball. Oh, that's a good goal. It's Taylor O'Brien with the finish. And once more, the chief provider is Amy Atkins with that left foot. She's an assist machine, Amy Atkins. Look at that, perfect. That's the type of ball any midfielder or striker wants to connect with. Absolutely on a postage stamp, and Taylor O'Brien with a lovely finish on 82 minutes. 5-0. 2 goals for O'Brien. 10 in the National League, 22 for the calendar year. I make it. Johnson. Dispossessed by Blackler. O'Brien now, more space opening up. Erin Wong on the overlap. Penny Brill goes out to deal with that problem. Now Taylor O'Brien causing more, winning a corner off Georgia Martin. Well, 2 hat-tricks for Taylor O'Brien. One against Capital Football back on the 17th of September, and another one against Central Football in an 8-0 win. She's 1 goal away from making it 3. As Atkins whips that ball in towards the near post. Good defending. Auckland United made sure they were first to that. But every single ball that Atkins has put in from those in-swinging left foot corners or from wide areas is causing massive issues. Taken quickly by O'Brien. Benson. Good defending. That's a very good tackle. And Benson didn't give up. It's almost an Eastern Suburbs trademark. Utterly relentless. Launched long by United, picked off by Kenya Brooke. Atkins. Well, she was looking for some clemency from the assistant referee, saying that the ball had taken a nick off Jennifer McMurray. Philpott. Launched long. Good header, nice first touch by Atkins. Oh, lovely skill from Atkins again. O'Brien spots the run by Jade Paris. There's Benson, tried to go through the legs of Catherine Fulton and did, but it's tidied up by Georgia Martin, but the problem is not fully dealt with yet by Auckland United, and now a chance for Benson. Jess Philpott threw herself into that challenge with plenty of luster, but Wong has fed the ball to Benson again. Martin. Auckland United somewhat punch drunk on the ropes, definitely. Here's Williams. Ball forward for Boala. Lovely composure by Brooke Bennett. Ella Finley. Olivia Page. Press coming from Penny Brill. Lovely exchange with Erina Wong. Page tried to force the ball forward towards Zoe Benson, but it was well read by Georgia Martin. Just under 5 minutes left. Eastern Suburbs 5, Auckland United 0 in the National Women's League Round 6 clash here at William Green Domain in Pakuranga Heights. Well, we understand the additional time tagged on at the end of this will be 3 minutes minimum. I think given that Auckland United have played this evening with diminished resources, they've not done too badly against a side that is clearly in very, very good form. Eastern Suburbs, it's hard to believe, in fact, that Eastern Suburbs finished third in the Northern League. They, with 13 points behind Northern Rovers, who finished top. Western Springs were just 2 points ahead of Suburbs, and Auckland United were 4 points behind Eastern Suburbs in the northern section. It's been almost a complete sea change. Rovers have definitely been knocked off their perch in the National Women's League section of the calendar year. And it's Eastern Suburbs who have signalled to everybody that they truly mean business. Decent pass by Page. Wong running forward. Missy Girard does well to deal with it. Well, don't forget, FIFA Women's World Cup draw takes place tomorrow night, 7:30, at the Aotea Centre. The football ferns will discover who stands in their way as this shot just goes wide of the target. Who stands in the way at next year's FIFA Women's World Cup. Good work by Zoe Benson. She's had a big impact on this game since coming on as a substitute. Lovely little give and go between her and Olivia Page. Just couldn't get the shot on target at the end of it. Well, another goal for Western Springs. They lead Northern Rovers by 3-1, so it looks as though it's going to be victories for the top two teams this evening. Both will go to 6 matches, 6 wins, 18 points apiece. And qualification for the grand final looking more and more certain with each passing round. Benson, long range shots, decent. Goalkeeper has to be very careful with those long range shots. Benson got the power and the accuracy just right. The technique was good. Here's Page. Penny Brill working as hard as ever in midfield for Auckland United. What can Page produce here at the end? Oof, and that could have been very, very painful. Had she rolled another way, I don't think there was anything untoward from Penny Brill. It was just an unfortunate moment for Page, who stood on the ball. Powering away from Brill. Brill's had a good game for Auckland United despite the scoreline. She's had to do a lot of work against a team that's got a lot of mobility, and you can just see that can happen, particularly on turf where the pace of the ball is much, much different to grass. Sometimes difficult to get the ball out from under your feet on a plastic surface. Benson with the corner, 90th minute, goes to the near post, away by United. It'll be a retake. Benson. Oh, she put a bit more oomph into the delivery there, and it almost paid off. Blackler. Oh, good pass from Blackler. O'Brien, is there a hat trick here? No, is the answer. I thought here that Blackler might fancy a go. She broke one line, but unselfishly picked out Taylor O'Brien. You could see she was trying to wrap that round to go top right-hand corner, but couldn't quite achieve it. Johnson. Giroud. Johnson again for United. Rachel Head intercepts. Boala snapping away at the Eastern Suburbs defender. Here's Olivia Page. Now Barnard. Now Boala, and a chance here for Brill. First touch was heavy. Rachel Head got out to her opponent and made sure that the space in front of her was diminishing all the time. And now it's Atkins on the counter-attack with Jennifer McMurray in tow. Goal kick. Another goal scored by Western Springs. It's now 4-1. O'Brien, good defending from Jess Philpott. Kenya Brook battling away and winning the ball from Amy Barnard. Kenya Brook. Oh, that was a good opportunity to just roll a short under hit pass to Zoe Benson, but Kenya Brook just overhit it, but too much power on it. That was the right idea. Brill. Nice pass. Kenya Brook using her strength and height to hold off Amy Barnard, and a lovely bit of technique to go with it. O'Brien. Finley. O'Brien again. Well, we've almost had the entire 3 minutes of additional time as we watch Olivia Page play the ball wide to Erin Wong. Benson, no, it's Catherine Fulton in fact. And it's academic now. Eastern Suburbs stay top of the National Women's League after a very convincing 5-0 victory over Auckland United. Nicole Metum, Nicole Cooper, 2 from Taylor O'Brien and 1 by Erin Wong complete a rout of sorts for Stephen Hoyle's side as they look towards qualification for the grand final on December the 18th. Elsewhere, Western Springs were leading Northern Rovers 4-1. So it's 2 wins for the top 2 teams in New Zealand tonight. So, confirmation of the results this evening. Eastern Suburbs 5, Auckland United 0 here at Pakuranga. And Western Springs overcoming Northern Rovers by 4-1 in the final 20 minutes of a pulsating fixture between second and third. Here's what the league table looks like with 2 games to be played between Canterbury United and Southern United, Capital and Central. And, of course, we've got games on Monday in this competition, round 7. It's looking increasingly like the final will be between Eastern Suburbs and Western Springs. There's a lot for Northern Rovers to do to catch up. Final score here at William Green Domain. Eastern Suburbs 5, Auckland United 0. I'm Gordon Watson on behalf of everyone at Sky Sport Next. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you again tomorrow perhaps. Bye for now.